Hey guys, King of Charmants here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the most powerful ABB team for Open Ultra League Season 11. So some madman or madwoman, or however you identify, broke this really nutty team into the top rankings. I'm gonna look at it again, but I think it's like top 5 or something like that. With all the madness running around with a Walrein Trevcore, someone popped a Swampert in the middle, and it ended up being one of the most it's basically the most powerful ABB team for Season 11 Open Ultra League. This team features Trevenant, Swampert, and Walrein, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's the top 8 team on the top performers. Top 8, really freaking good. A 547 rating and double water, despite, well, it's a double water team. It featured, again, Swampert, Walrein, so it's grass double water. So the interesting part about a double water scheme is that water doesn't really, it's not super safe, especially with Trevenant running around. Yes, Walrein beats Trev, however, C-Bomb still does super effective damage, and it's still pretty dang dangerous, especially if you go rack up on C-Bomb, so yes. But it is a top 8 team. Most powerful ABB team statistically, and it gets me this sweet 5-0 like the first time I use it. The first time I use it, like just 5-0 off the bat, I'm like, oh wow. And these battles are freaking sweaty. What the heck? Like, wow. And yes. But yeah, that just shows how much I need to go on vacation. But you know what? That goes on to my therapist mental health tip of the day, and this is going to actually be on cognitive behavior, cognitive behavioral therapy. So one of the modalities I use, well, I don't really use it that much in comparison to my first modality, is called cognitive behavior. So what it means by cognitive behavioral therapy is that you do so, it's basically run down into these 4 attributes. Again, I'm going to put this in the description, so if you want to take a look at it, from Therapist Aid, it's this free resource that like psychotherapists like me and others use, and it's freaking amazing because it has worksheets, so I don't have to download a freaking hard drive full of worksheets. But for this one, the model, it basically runs down to this. So you have a situation, anything that applies to a person, so situations are ultimately outside of the individual's control, but they can be influenced by behaviors. This is Go Battle League. So this pertains to everything Go Battle League. Battling, making legend, etc. This is a situation. So yes, a lot of things are outside your control, but how you behave in the moment will influence your decision and whether or not you can make legend or not. Or leaderboard, or whatever your goals are. Me, don't expect me to lay in the queue for 40 to an hour. I ain't doing that. So I will tank if I feel like I'm going leaderboard mode. So next, you got your thoughts and beliefs, and then you have your emotions. So for your thoughts and beliefs, it's what a person thinks or believes about a situation and how the individual interprets an event. So this is basically why you're battling. So every time it happens, oh, did you see that pass move go through? Every little thing. Did you see a charge move? Blah, blah, blah. Did you go CMP? That's how you interpret it. So this is basically your conscious, like your conscious coming through. It can also be your subconscious because your thoughts are flying through and you're like, all right, cool. So your subconscious mind is just doing the juggling for you. And then you have your emotions. How a person feels about a situation. Emotions are not necessarily based on logic, but they're influenced by thoughts and belief. This is Twitter drama beef. So for those of you that do reign in the Pokemon Go Twitter, PvP Twitter dramaverse, this is basically what that's what drama is fueled by. Emotions. They aren't necessarily logical or right about the situation, it's just how they feel about it. And then you get the cancel train that goes around, and people are like, oh my god, this person is popular, so I should follow them to support their opinion, even though it's really dumb. So that's what emotions are. This is also you, and a good example for this to Go Battle League is when you would like to throw your phone across the board. You lag, so what does that happen? Your emotion is you get angry. And what do you do as a result of that? That's the next piece, which is the behavior/response. Person's actions and behaviors in response to their thoughts and feelings about a situation. So this is a combination of what your response is and your behavior as a result of this. So the behavior is that your response is, okay, I'm going to throw my phone across the room, and your behavior is you're going to rage. So the response is you throw your phone across the room, and then how do you behave? You rage. That's basically when it comes to Go Battle League, Battle Lag, or just Go Battle League in general. If you did like a good side, you did that. So this is how the CBT model works. The reason why it's so good is because it's a really basic foundation. It's also called an evidence-based practice. So evidence-based modalities. So evidence-based modalities have been researched and scientifically proven to work. So There have been many studies on this, and yes, CBT is pretty dang good. A lot of clinicians like using CBT. I use a little bit of it, but I also will use it if it's like, it's also very useful for like treating depression and whatnot. So I will mostly I try to, yeah. And you always, as a therapist, you always want to expand your toolbox because more, you're always learning and you always want to go more. But yes, again, basic model, and I'll be doing more content on this of how like to use it. But this is, if you got the description, this is basically how it is. You have your situation, then you have your thoughts and your emotions that go through, then you have your behavioral and response. And then that's how you work through therapy. We try to make it so we can change your behavior and response to something more positive or something that works for you rather than something that causes you to damage your phone and throw it halfway across the room or possibly hit your TV or something like that, like a Wii remote controller way back in the day when it debuted, and then you break your stuff. So yes, without further ado, I hope y'all enjoyed that tip, and this is the 5-0 with the most powerful ABB team in Open Ultra League, and let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. I finished the unholy crap out of my opponents. Like I mentioned, this is a very sweaty shoutcast. So we got Walrein into Trev, and obviously we lose this matchup. Yes, you get out. You win CMP, but you get outpaced, and you have to be super finesse. You have to super finesse your opponent, but generally you will lose this matchup. So my idea here is to seed bomb, do some chip damage, and then try to catch a weather. Well, this isn't a weather ball. This is an icicle spear. You know, it's like the Warriors game last night. You know, when Steph Curry went off, like, I keep thinking weather ball, but no, this is icicle spear, like 300. Great movie. I don't know how those guys got so jacked, though. Like, dang. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But, as you see here, now we got the Walrein on Walrein mirror match, and I'm going to try to finesse the unholy hell out of an opponent. I fire an earthquake here, but they're going to shield. I'm hoping they don't, and unfortunately they do. So, now I'm very behind. Yeah, we got a shield, but we're behind energy, so I'm going to have to definitely shield here, and then I'm going to have to be really careful about my energy management here. The thing about this team, what I've noticed, is that all these three are very fast charge attackers, so it's a very aggressive team, but you have to be really good with energy management and just really making sure you get every single inch of energy you can out of your opponent. I'm going to double shield here. Yes, I will go down to the zeros. It's going to be the 0 to 1s, but that means I can get a little extra energy here. I can fire, and then what I plan on doing here is that I'm going to give up switch, send in Trev, and I'm going to Shadow Claw down. I will snipe down. As you see, my opponent does shield. I get a little more energy, fire off the icicle spear, and mind you, I battle with my subconscious, so I have like, I'm just like, God, I don't know how I made this come to fruition. As you see, I manifested the play that I was telling you about, and now we got Talonflame on Trev. I let them fire the extra Incinerate because all I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire a Shadow Ball. If they stay in the zeros, you actually outpace Talonflame. So my opponent thinks they're going to be able to get to another one and just farm me down, but unfortunately they're not able to, which happens in the zeros. Fun fact, if you do not fire removes, Trev does outpace you in the zeros, and we get a Sylveon. And this is pretty much game. All I have to do is send in my Swampert, do a Magnitude 6-9 420 Earthquake. I wait out my switch clock just a little bit because I plan on just pretty much ending my opponent's career at this point. I'm going to send in Walrein because my timer should be up. I'm going to do the one hitter quitter. Well, not really one hitter quitter. You see 2 Powder Stones go through. I fire off the Icicle Spear, and that's game. Holy mother of mercy. Don't ask me how I figured out this madness. It just happened, okay? Again, I battle my subconscious, so when you battle enough and you, like, and you're a mental health professional, and you cognitive, you like, God, you see the fruits of my labor. No one, like, is very rare to do this. Everybody else that says, oh, I'm just doing calm, I'm just doing stress, no, that's a lie. Like, literally every other content creator I see, like, no, you got emotions, dude. Like, no, you do not have Zen. Speaking of Zen, we don't have Zen because we have a Giratina against our freaking, yeah, we got Giratina on Trevenant. This is actually terrible. Not only that, she flexing the shiny, though. Shinies do more damage. So what you have to do here is essentially you have to double shield. And then if you can double bait with C-Bomb, you can end up Shadow Balling for the dub. That's how you win the 2 shield against Giratina, though. Any other scenario, like if they do shield your Shadow Ball, you will lose. So I'm going to let my Trev go. This was a mistake, by the way. And then I'm going to send in Walrein. I'm going to switch into, I switch fast as heck into Swampert because they give a switch as well, and I'm going straight for the Earthquake. If my opponent doesn't shield this, which I'm kind of betting they don't, It's gonna one-hitter quitter this freaking Melmetal. As you see, the Earthquake goes through a one-hitter quitter. My opponent's probably going to quit out because they're raging at the fact that they didn't shield that. And as you see here, they did top left. That's game. And that was like, I was like, dang, dude. Dang. 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 Yeah, dang. Why would it? Well, no, not many people will go for the nuke in the one shield set, but why not? At least that's just how I play. And we got the same old scenario. It's just like a VHS tape, you know what I mean? We do the rewinder, and it happens to be a Dragon Breath Giratina again, which is actually good for you as a Trev, because if it's a Shadow Gall Giratina, it's a way worse matchup than it would if you were taking on Dragon Breath. Because Dragon Breath charges slower, and at the same time, Shadow Claw will get the same type attack bonus. And it also charges faster, so that means you die faster. So Shadow Ball goes through. I tried the same play I did last time. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? So I'm going to fire off Shadow Ball this time. The reason why I'm doing it in this order, I'll go for the nuke first and then bait. You want to set the feint. So you're going to set, I call it feinting. Well, if you're combat sports, if you compete in combat sports, if you fight or you're a fan of fighting, you know what feints are, or boxing. So the Shadow Ball is the feint, because your opponent's like, okay, this guy's just going straight nukes. And as you see, the feint was set, and you should be able to get to a Shadow Ball. They send in Tapu Fini, and my brain is like, why would you send in a Tapu? And I'm like, oh, this still does big damage. Yes, you caught it, but you're still going to do big. And then I should be able to outpace Tapu Fini to an Earthquake. Yeah, you could fire a Surf, but I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake right away if I notice that they aren't firing all their energy, and they don't. Earthquake should go through. This will KO Tapu Fini, and then we still have a whole Walrein, a whole Swampert, and a somewhat dead Trev, which we can use as a sack. So there's plenty of win conditions here. So, and we get a Regirock, and I'm like, oh my lord, and I'm like, ill. That's ill. Yes, I should have went for the Earthquake. So I should have went for the Earthquake because I didn't actually know that at this range, if Focus Blast would kill. However, I'm still pretty safe here. All I have to do is, because I don't know I can get to an Earthquake, and if it KOs, what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm going to actually Icicle Spear here, and then I'm going to send in Swampert. After that, all I have to do to win is I just have to double Hydro Cannon. I come out with a W. As you see here, I swap in a Trev in an attempt to catch a move, and they happen to Dragon Breath me down, which is okay. So they snipe me, but it's all good. Because like I mentioned, the win condition already, there was multiple win conditions. The win condition I'm going for is that all I have to do is double up here in Hydro Cannon. There is no way to... You need to do 3 Dragon Claws in order to kill in this scenario. And because this is a Dragon Breath Giratina versus a Shadow Claw Giratina, my opponent isn't going to be able to pace me to where I can get to 2 Hydro Cannons or close to 2 so that I can fire this one off and then get the second one off immediately after that. Because there's no way, unless Regirock has a ton of energy, it's not going to be able to outpace Swampert, and Swampert should win CMP anyways if you were in that close of a matchup. So, there goes my, yes, you got finished, sir. That is game, and I will see you in the Shadow Realm. I'm just kidding, I'll see you in Shadow Realm. I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In so long, but that, like, the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, like, so iconic. That's how much, and I'm almost done with Hunter x Hunter, by the way. Can't wait to be done with Hunter x, well, not can't wait to be done, but I'm enjoying it a lot because... Dang, Hunter x Hunter is really dang good. We got Trev into G-Fisk here. We win this lead. However, they send a Cresselia, which is actually terrible. Cresselia is one of the things you don't want to see because your back row is very weak to it because Grass Knot slaps. And Psycho Cut is one of the fastest charging fast moves in the entire freaking game. So we got the Banana Duck floating burp thingy. Or, yeah, the Banana Swan, whatever you want to call it. So I fire Seed Bomb, and I'm going to feint. Like I told you, feinting like before. You either fire the nuke or you fire the bait, and then you do it backwards, and as you see here, it works. Fire the feint, we make our opponent think that we are in fact going to bait again, and then we're going to fire off the Seed Bomb. So my opponent has something in the back. We still have 2 full Mons, and this charges, and we have 2 full, like, super fast chargers. I'm going to let this go. Trev is going to let go, but the only problem is here is that they can undercharge this, or Trev won't completely die, and they can farm me down, which is actually terrible. So I'm going to send in Swampert, and then I'm banking that they're going to go straight Earthquake since we're down 2 shields. If my opponent has a Talonflame in the back, they're going to shield my Hydro Cannon, or they're not going to switch out of here. If they send in whatever they have in the back, it might be terrible. And it, in fact, is incredibly terrible, and that's a Venusaur, and I'm like, oh god, no. However, because my opponent wasn't able to catch a Hydro Cannon, I live. Because all I have to do here is I just have to get 2 Icicle Spears off. This will take both shields from my opponent. And then all I have to do is Earthquake for the victory. I don't have to risk it because that G-Fisk is energy dry. And it should be in Hydro Cannon range. So mind you, again, I am playing with my subconscious. I never fight consciously. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I got my Nen. If you know we're Hunter x Hunter, I got my Nen, and I'm manifesting my Nen right now. I'm a specialist, and actually, no, I'm more of a enhancer because I like beating the crap out of everything. Well, that's my style in Jiu-Jitsu and, like, MMA, and yeah. I'm very hyper-aggressive, but I'm technically aggressive, I would say. Again, we make the play come to fruition. I go for the Earthquake, and then my opponent is Energy Dry with their G-Fisk, and even if they do get to Rock Slide doesn't kill, and even if somehow they went a little bit overcharged, Hydro Cannon, I should win CMP, and that's GG's. As you see here, an extremely calculated play, and that equals the dub for us, and that is game. My god. If you thought that, well, that wasn't really that. I mean, yeah, you win the lead, but it's not even like super convincing because there's some plays you could do like finessing Trev in that moment. We got a Swampert on Trev. Finally, I won a dang lead, so I'm like, finally for the 5-0, I win a dang lead because every other game outside of that G-Fizz, well, actually, G-Fizz wasn't a super convincing lead either. Outside of that G-Fizz game, like, oh my gosh, like that's like having a red lead. I call them red leads because, you know, it's a really hard loss. And then, as you see here, all we're going to send is Swampert, and then Swampert is just going to get bazillion energy here. I'm going to fire Hydro Cannon. I should have went for the Earthquake. This is a mistake on my part. Build up to the Earthquake, because that way you can try to bait shields from your opponent, because they kind of want to keep Sylveon alive. Instead, I'm going to shield here, and I'm going to farm down, which is kind of a mistake, because I don't know what they have in the back. So going down shields might not be the best idea here. However, and farming down to Oblivion, I have a Swampert with almost 3 Hydro Cannons queued, so I'm vibing right now. They're going to do one of two things. They're going to send in their own Swampert in, or they're going to reveal what they have in the back. However, I have a bazillion energy, and they send in Muck. This is where I kind of make a second mistake. I should have fired Earthquake, but I didn't want to send in Swampert and went off CMP. So, or like force CMP or do something fancy because I don't want to lose all this energy. Because my opponent can possibly win CMP and then like order to where they get 2 Hydro Cannons. They're going to fire this Hydro Cannon off. I'm going to shield this one, and then I'm going to send in Trev. That little bit of extra energy I have is, oh well, actually I'm going to fire one more Hydro Cannon, then I'm going to send in Trev. But I don't want all this energy to go to waste because there's a lot more pressure on my opponent, and I do still have 2 whole mines. My opponent lets go of their Swampert, which is kind of interesting because I'm like, that Swampert has a lot of energy. So all I have to do is beat the unholy crap out of this Muck. All I have to do is Hydro Cannon here. I'm going to send in Trev in it, and I just have to go for the Seed Bomb. Because all I have to do here is I just have to beat the unholy crap out of it. Trust me, I don't even know how the hell I came up with those win condition. Seed Bomb goes off, and as you see, this Muck is so godforsakingly hurt that all I have to do is send in Walrein in the back, double up on Icicle Spears, and that's game. So, yeah. This was just murder. Absolute murder. Like, energy management, like, just murder. And the reason I'm firing on these intervals is because I don't want to catch CMP or anything like that. 2 Thunder Punches won't kill, but I don't want my opponent to sneak in any extra poison jabs through because I don't know how much energy this Muck has because I don't physically count. I don't stress about it. I don't count. So I'm just like, okay, go, fire. So we're going to fire off this Icicle Spear, and this should KO, and that is freaking game. I hope y'all enjoyed this sweet 5-0 with the most powerful ABB team in Open Ultra League. Yeah, this is the most powerful ABB team in Open Ultra League, and I hope y'all enjoyed that sweet 5-0. And as you see here, you manifest. This is literally my first set using this team, and I was like, oh my god, I 5-0'd. This team is good. If you're good with energy management, this team will do very well for you, and I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. And that's GG's, or that's game. Actually, you know, let me know in the comments. Also, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm, please. But also, please let me know, like, is GG's or game better? Because I like that's game better just because it's, if you watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in dub, some of you might know what I'm talking about, if you like anime, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! And JD Yuki says that's game whenever he wins a match, or, like, whenever he's done with something. So I don't know if I should use that's game or that's GG's, because GG's is like the overall like esports, or rather the conundrum is for like freaking gaming. So yeah, but I don't know. I like that's game better, but I say that's game in like battles, and then I say Jets GG's after. So yeah, you decide. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the shoutcast. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. Hopefully you're doing well for this season. For me, I'm taking it extremely slow. I'm not stressing about Legend whatsoever. I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would do initially, but yeah, but dang, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm not doing all my battles every day. I'm taking it easy, doing a break. At the end of the day, whether I make Legend or not this season, it really doesn't matter. So yeah, I I really don't care, but yeah. Hopefully y'all are reaching your goals though. Hopefully y'all are going through, and this is your chance to make, I think they have like Go Battle League weekends or something like that. So I do implore you, if you've never made Legend, this is your time, because there's a lot of opportunities this time around, and there's a lot of cups and events that support said cup, so you got a lot of variety. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. I hope y'all enjoyed them. Do me a huge favor again, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. For those that always do that, I really do appreciate you, and I try to respond within like 24 hours or so. I try. If I'm busy, I don't. But yes. So, also I stream on Twitch Sunday, Monday, Tuesday as of right now. I will start streaming again this week, so I'll be back, and I hope to see y'all on there. If you don't make it, that's perfectly fine. I appreciate the support you give me on YouTube. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.
That I made, all the things that I have craved, these are what I could have seen.